Purify our hearts to serve you in truth with the real sincerity. Ayin Adonai, with much joy, Adonai, with real joy. Nidadam, nadadam, nadadai, dai, 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 nadadam, nidadam, ai, dai, di, dai, dam, di, dai, 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 dam. Tahir libeinu le'yavdecha be'emes be'yavahu be'simcha. Purify our hearts to serve you with truth, with love, with real joy. Welcome back. It's the day after Shushan Purim. Baruch Hashem, it was a beautiful Purim. Hope that you were here. Hope you joined us one way or another. And so here in Yerushalayim, it's the day after Purim, and you can imagine that people are sort of just waiting. You know, some of them are already up a few hours. Some might be still getting themselves together. And the day after Purim is sometimes hard for a lot of people, because on Purim itself, we got this strong infusion of joy and being together. And the day after Purim, you get up and you look around and you sort of wonder or at least there's something inside of us from our past that says, is it really true? Did we get that? Did we get there? Did we get to that special place? Or was it just for one day, for one moment, and so on? And it is true, but we have to keep our Purim eyes with us all the time. We have to keep our Mashiach eyes with us all the time. Because we're living in Alma de Shikra, Alma de Pruda, the world of lies, the world of separation, division. And we have to maintain this strong, strong connection, our soul connection, our heart connection. We were learning a Mishnah this morning, the Masechet Sanhedrin, chapter 4, Mishnah 5. The Mishnah says, "Leficha chayev kol adam lemer." Every person is obligated to say, "Bishvili nivra ha'olam." The world was created for my sake. Right? Sounds like a very unusual thing, but that's exactly the point. The point is that every person has to know that there's something in which you are so special that the entire creation. There's something about you that's so special that the entire creation was worth it from the beginning of creation till now for your sake. Not for you alone, for each individual. But each individual mamish has to believe it. He used to carry two pieces of paper in his pocket, in two pockets. In one pocket he had a piece of paper that said, the world was created for my sake. In the other pocket, he had a piece of paper that said, a quote from Avram Avinu, I'm just dust and ashes. And we have to know that both are true. The world was created for my sake, and it was created for my sake. And I have to remember that I'm just dust and ashes. In other words, we live this paradoxical life. On the one hand, the neshama, our souls are a chelik elokam yimal mamish, mamish apart from Hashem, part of Hashem, the Holy. And at the same time, to really know that, I have to know that I'm just dust and ashes. I'm not an independent being existing on my own. I didn't create myself. Pari says, denial is mine, and I created myself. The Pari in us speaks like that. And I have to remember, no, I'm dust and ashes. Hashem is God. Hashem is my creator. Hashem is the one who's giving me life. And Hashem is my real reality. And I just want to live that real deep reality that is embedded in our hearts. So this week's parsha is Kitisa. And the parsha begins with Kitisa to Rosh Bnei Yisrael. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, when you will take a census, don't count the people by heads, but rather everybody is to give their half shekel and count that. And the Ishbitzer points out that the Torah uses the verb. The Torah uses the verb tisa instead of the verb tispo. Lispo is to count. Laseit is to carry, to lift up. So isn't it strange that the verb that's being used is ki tisat rosh b'nei Yisrael? And if you were to translate this literally, the translation would be, when you lift up the head of each individual Jew. So the Ishbitzer says that at the moment that a Yid came before Moshe Rabbeinu and gave his half shekel, Moshe Rabbeinu elevated this person high to the point to where he realized that it's true The world was created for my sake. There's something very special that Hashem has given me, and I have to find it and manifest it and manifest it into this world. And just like I'm unique, everyone else is unique too. And everyone else has something so special that makes them worthy, that makes the entire creation worthy just for their being. So, Moshe Rabbeinu, yes, is taking the census, but the real census is not what number are you, right? The Nazis Yimach Shemam try to destroy not just us, but humanity by putting numbers on our arms and saying, you're just a number. And the Torah is saying, no, you're not just a number. The Torah is saying, you are so special, the entire creation is worthy because of your presence in the creation. So, Reb Shlomo used to tell everybody, wow, brother, you're the greatest, you're the best. And some of the Chevra used to go up to Reb Shlomo afterwards and say, but you say that to everybody. And he says, yes, you're the best. And every person, you're the best. You are the best. There's something in which you are the best, and don't forget that. There's something in which you're the best, and find it and manifest it. Live it with joy, with sincerity, with truth. So here we are, a month before Pesach. Actually, a month less one day, because today's already the 16th of Adar. Pesach begins on the 15th at night. And Moshe Rabbeinu taught us that 30 days before the holiday begins, Shoyalin v'darshin v'hilchos hachag, you already start to ask questions and study the laws of the holiday to get ready for the Yom Tov that's coming, so that mamish, you should be there and be present in thought, speech, and action to the best of your ability. And we should all be blessed to achieve that. So there's a Hasidic interpretation, Shoalin v'dorshin, we ask and we seek to find the depth of the holiday. I think someone's at the door. Hold on.
I saw.
Baruch Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu just came in. Anyway, so 30 days before the holiday, we already start asking questions and seeking to find out what are the laws of the coming holiday. So we're 30 days before 29, so it's time to get ready, right? So there's a Hasidic interpretation. I was saying that in other words, 30 days before the Yom Tov, you start the Yom Tov is already coming into the world. The holiday is already coming into the world, and we have to sort of seek it and find it, you know. So it's very interesting that see which one's Chaylik in Mishnah Berurah. See which one's Chaylik Pesach. I think it's either Dalet or their Hay. Maybe both, but I think it's Dalet. That's Hay. So the very first chapter of halachot of Jewish law on Pesach in the Shulchan Aruch is chapter 429, Tov Chav Tes. And the very opening statement that the Beis Yosef makes is Sheyalin v'hilchus haPesach kodem v'Pesach shloshim yom. That 30 days before Pesach, you already start studying the laws of Pesach. And then the Ramah, the chief Ashkenazi rabbi from 400 years ago, from Krakow, adds, "Minhag liknot chitim lechakan laniyim letzorech Pesach." It's a custom to buy wheat to distribute to the poor for their Pesach needs. V'chol mi shedav Be'ir Yud Bet Chodesh, and anyone who's been living in the city for 12 months, tzarich litein lazeh, he has to contribute to this. So, and this is the custom of what's known as kamcha de Pesach, right? The flour for Pesach. Right? Pesach is has a lot of special halachot, and so it's interesting that the Beis Yosef starts with the law that 30 days before the Yom Tov, you should start studying the halachas, the laws of Pesach. The Ramah says, you know what? The first thing you need to know is about Kamcha de Pesach. What else? There's another word for it also. What's it called?
Mos chitim.
Mos chitim. Ma'ot chitim. Money to buy wheat. So the Beis Yosef says, start studying the laws. The Ramah says, make sure that the poor, right? So it's there's a Gewalt story which I'll have to remember the details. So later I'll tell it tomorrow. But basically, think about it. Why do they start in these two? Is the Ramah just adding a comment to the Beis Yosef? The Beis Yosef saying you have to start learning the halachot before Pesach 30 days. And the Ramah is adding a comment saying, listen, remember the poor? Or is the Ramah saying, no, the first thing you got, of course he's adding to the Beis Yosef, he's not arguing, right? In a certain sense, there is a bit of an argument here, and the argument is a little bit, but how Pesach is coming. Every one of us is obligated to see ourselves as if we've experienced Yetzias Mitzrayim, right? And it's a line in the Haggadah, and the Baal Shem Tov said, not only in every generation do you have to see yourself as if you came out of Mitzrayim, every single day. You have to feel like, I'm free. Hashem has liberated me, right? Hashem says, I'm Hashem your God, and the Torah says, all your life you have to remember the day of your exodus. So Baal Shem Tov says every single day. Now to Rebbe, the Baal Tanya adds every hour. Every hour you have to experience your Yetziat Mitzrayim, your liberation from slavery, right? So Reb Shlomo points out, if you're really free, or if you really want to experience being free, is who is the most free being, or the only one that you could say he's really free, is a Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's Hashem, right? Although tzaddik goes to Kodesh Baruch Hu Mekayim, tzaddik can tell Hashem, Rebbeinu Shalom, the Master of the world, I know that you made this decree, but I'm making another decree, and Hashem says I'll have to keep it.
It's a good question.
Huh?
It's a good question.
Yeah, L'chaim. This is the day after Purim tea. But the idea is that Hashem is taking care of us all the time, right? And giving us life at every moment. And if you're really free, that means you're free from being totally self-centered, right? Think about it. Most of the time, who are we thinking about? I'm thinking about myself. I want to drink. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. Right? I need this. I need that. And so thinking about myself. Right? So that means I'm a slave. I'm a slave to my kishkis. I'm a slave to my lust. I'm a slave to my ego. So I'm not really free. So I'm thinking, yeah. I'll give some tzedakah. I'll give something for the poor because I think it's a good idea. Or people expect me to do it, and I want to keep up my appearances or whatever it is. That's not free. Yeah, I'm making a choice. I'm doing this, but I'm doing it to a very large extent because I'm a slave to my ego. I'm a slave to the way I like people to think about me, or I'm a slave to my own needs. A really free person, mamish, is like a Kadosh Baruch Hu, constantly wanting to give and constantly wanting to share for the sake of mamish, helping somebody and giving them life and giving them joy and so on. Not because you're thinking of yourself, but because you're thinking of the other person, right? So that's, in a certain sense, the connection between Purim and Pesach also, right? Purim is like mamish. We at least for a few moments we got to feel like a real strong achdus. If you would have come out to Yerushalayim Purim night over here an Agrippas and an the Shuk, the besorgen gewähnt die gesagt Chabosugen der Mabel. Ich bin auch gewähnt, Mame. I hope you understand some Yiddish. Anyway, so the streets were packed. Kanena heard thousands of our brothers and sisters and our children were out there dancing, celebrating Purim. The ones you would call religious and the ones that you would call not religious, everybody together, mitgetanzt. And people came up to me, people that I know that live in Tel Aviv, and they're not, what you would call like frum or religious and so on. And they told me, there's nothing like Purim in Yerushalayim. It's mamish like you could feel the achdus. You could feel that mamish everybody was happy to be together, right? It wasn't a competition who's looking at who and who's dancing better and who's this and who's that and who's got a better costume or all that narishkeit was not there. It was like mamish, people were there happy to be with one another. And that's what we have to have. And coming with Pesach coming, that's what we have to continue doing, but practical, not just by dancing, practical, to look around for people in the community and to make sure that everybody's going to have what they need for Yom Tov, because Yom Tov is not just for yourself. And the truth is that this is a beferish Rambam. The Rambam and Hilchos Yom Tov and the laws of Yom Tov, where he talks about v'samachta b'chagecha, that you should rejoice on your holiday. So he says, okay, how do you rejoice on the holiday, right? How do you fulfill it? So the Gemara says, "Ein simcha ela b'basar b'yayin." Right? You have to have a good, nice meat and wine. Right? In other words, your body has to be happy too, not just your head. Right? And then he says, that you to buy new clothing for the women and for the children, and to give them treats, to give the children treats, because everybody at their level and everybody at their level has to experience, like, the joy, the simcha of the Yom Tov. And don't make a mistake when the Rambam says that that for the women you buy new clothing. It's not chas v'sholem a statement looking down at the women, okay? Because the truth is that women know about newness and renewal far better than men. Women give birth; they know what something new is, right? They know much better than the men do. The Rambam is saying, "Listen, you man, your wife knows better. The women know better about birth and being alive than you do. But you know what? We'll give you have an opportunity to participate. You can buy a new garment. Buy them a new garment, and in this way you're having a chelik in the experience of renewal that they experience. So then he goes on and he says that if somebody is getting dressed up for Yom Tov and is making special foods for Yom Tov, and he's sitting in his house and the gate is locked and the poor people can't come in. In other words, he's not thinking about the needs of the poor people, but he's making a nice Yom Tov inside his house. So the Rambam says, Ein zo simchas Yom Tov, elo simchas kreisoi. The Rambam says, if that's the case, you're not celebrating Yom Tov. What you're celebrating is your stomach. You're having a gastronomical holiday. It's you and your stomach. Then he quotes a very, very harsh verse from the Navi, that such a feast, which is all about myself and my stomach, the Rebbeinu Shalom considers it like feces, chazarai, and that he's going to wipe our faces in it. Very harsh. As I read the movie. So yeah. Wow. And at Iran vision, in that Nemen and Zapunim, it is gave me a vision then. It's like the prophets didn't mince words. When they had something to say, they said it the way it needed to be said, right? So we got to take that special feeling that we got on Purim, the special that awareness of like Mamash p.1 and that there's a Havas Yisrael, and now between Purim and Pesach, put it into practical reality. Look around, see. Do you have a neighbor that needs something? Can you help some way? Can you help somebody get ready for Pesach? Whatever way to figure out, use your creativity to figure out how could I be of help to my sister. So mamash, we should be blessed. We should be blessed to be mekayim that. Okay, so we'll sing a niggin and Still have to finish Shachris. Okay. So Mirza Hashem will continue tomorrow. Please come back, join us for the next year. B'simcha kol tov.
Thursday.
B'simcha rabbo v'ta'el libeinu li'avavdecha v'yemes v'yahava u'b'simcha